Hello and welcome to National Focus. I'm Nisha Charles. Topping the headlines, a Hydromet study to be conducted under the Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project, a new luxury hotel for Dominica, and Portsmouth hosts its annual Market Day with a Difference 2015. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after this. Thanks for staying with us. The Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project is undertaking a Hydromet study to ascertain how to better construct roads and bridges to withstand disaster. Simply put, hydrology is the study of rainfall as it relates to flooding. A consultant with the project is here to lead a team of officials to conduct surveys of Dominica's rivers to calculate how much flow occurred during Tropical Storm Erica. Consultant Fred Ogden says the information will greatly impact the construction of roads and bridges across the island moving forward.
It will help redesign the infrastructure that was damaged or needs to be rebuilt as a result of Erica. So there's a critical need to have as much data as we can to estimate design flows so that things don't wash out easily again.
Ogden explains the components of the study.
We have kind of a three-pronged approach. One is surveying high water marks in rivers so we can calculate what the peak flow was. The second will be, I've requested the radar data from Martinique and Guadeloupe from Météo France because radars measure rainfall, but they don't do a great job. So what we need is truth on the ground to compare the radar against and adjust the radar so that it agrees with what happened on the ground. But we're going to be asking people to call in or text with amounts of rainfall that fell at their property. And we call them bucket surveys because sometimes when people are doing work at their house, they might leave a bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket outside their house, and it rains and it acts like a rain gauge. So people notice how many inches or how many centimeters of rain fell. If they report that, that's a good data point that we can have to validate the radar. The third thing that we'll be doing is looking for relationships between rainfall and peak runoff. And we can find those by trying to look for relationships between peak flow and catchment area or watershed area.
One of the components of the study is a bucket survey. Monitor and Evaluation and Communication Specialist with the DVRP, Nadette Langford, explains.
What we're asking the public to do is, if they can recall, on the 27th of August, that's the day of Tropical Storm Erica, whether they could recall how much buckets of water that they collected. And it's not collection from your guttering, your house guttering, it's in the open area. So if you left a pail or a bucket out and you came out after the storm, how many inches, or if it's centimeters. You can call our office with the information, and you'll have to state where you are, what village you're calling from, and we will take the information. Our office number is 266-3139 or 266-3158.
Ogden will be on island for 10 days training officials from the Office of Disaster Management, Public Works, Forestry, Lands and Surveys to install stream gauges to record these flows. By the end of 2015, the concluded report will be submitted covering up to 25 rivers and their peak flow rate. A new Hilton luxury development is coming to Salisbury, Dominica. A perfect marriage of a remarkable location with a connection to the identity, people, culture and energy of the area. That is how the location of the new luxury hotel development in Dominica is being described. A press release from luxury brand Hilton Worldwide indicates that by the year 2018, the development, Tranquility Beach Resort Dominica, will be opened for business. The property will be a gated community or 61 or 2-bedroom villa suites built in 50 new buildings and will be accessible via private beach path. Global head of Hilton's Curio brand, Diane Vaughn, says when considering properties for the Curio brand, interesting places travelers want to visit and how they want to experience them are also considered. Dominica is expected to benefit from the marketing of the Hilton brand, as well as points and miles guests will earn for each night of their stay at the hotel. Just recently, ground was broken for a new hotel development, Kempinski Resort Dominica at Cabritz in Portsmouth. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit indicated that this project in Salisbury will also be funded by the Citizenship by Investment program. President of the Dominica Council on Aging, Zetma Tuse, is continuing to speak out against the abuse of the elderly. Speaking at the recent celebration of the 100th birthday of Josephine Lawrence of Grand Fort, Tuse said abuse of the elderly continues to be a concern for her organization.
If, for example, an elderly person is taken from their home and brought to live, maybe because of certain circumstances, and taken to live with a family member, it could be a daughter, a son, or close relative, and they are confined to one room in the house. One room. They are told you cannot leave that room unless we tell you. Yes, and that is happening. Because the persons do not want them abused. Property is taken away from them, make them sign paper without explaining what they're signing. Okay, all those things are happening. So we have to be on our guard.
She called on all to support the Council on Aging as it prepares to host its conference in Dominica. Recommendations will be made to regional governments for the implementation of laws against the abuse of the elderly. Plans will also be developed for support of the elderly post-Tropical Storm Erica, as well as other natural disasters. The Council is working collaboratively with other local and regional agencies in that regard.
The Council on Aging, in its continuing efforts to educate and raise awareness of the issues affecting elders, will be convening and hosting the 3rd Caribbean Conference on Abuse and Other Issues of the Elderly. This conference was originally scheduled for September 16th and 17th, but had to be postponed, of course, due to the passage of the storm. Thus, the new date is now November 30th and December 1st, and that conference will be held at Fort Young Hotel in Roseau.
You're watching National Focus. More when we come back.
Introducing the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app, available for download from the Google Play Store, One Mobile Market, and the Government of Dominica's website. Access to all ministries and sub-departments' phone, email and office addresses and websites. Simply select a ministry and the sub-department. You can dial directly from the app or save the numbers to your phone contacts. It's convenience at your fingertips.
Is my passport ready for pickup? Good. It really works.
Download the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app today.
Welcome back. The town of Portsmouth was filled with vendors and shoppers alike on Saturday, October 24th, at the annual Market Day with a Difference. Addressing the official ceremony was Parliament Representative for the Portsmouth constituency, the Honorable Ian Douglas, who is also the Honorable Minister for Trade, Energy and Employment. In his address, Honorable Douglas stated that as we focus on independence, the 2015 theme, Rebuilding Dominica Together, tells us that all nationals have a part to play in rebuilding our island.
What is our responsibility in our own sphere of activity as far as nation building is concerned? Be we vendors, be we farmers, politicians, priests, councillors, in whatever sphere of activity we are, we have a responsibility towards rebuilding. And rebuilding must be taken not only in the context of Erica, not only rebuilding from the ravages of Tropical Storm Erica, but the rebuilding process of nation building. Where we are, where is it we want to get to as a people? How do we see ourselves 10 years from now? Where do we see ourselves 15 years from now? How do we see ourselves in the OECS scheme of things? How do we see ourselves in the CARICOM and Caribbean scheme of things? How do we see ourselves in the universal and global scheme of things? And that is what I want you to focus on, to meditate upon, and to reflect here today.
The Honourable Minister believes that without local support, there can be no national growth.
The farmers have been greatly affected by Erica. We the vendors, what is our responsibility? Do we see ourselves as assisting the farmers? by way of buying what it is that they produce, so that they themselves can generate income and grow and expand their business. It is a symbiotic relationship. It is a helping the farmers to grow and to develop, so that we ourselves can help our nation to grow and develop. Buying what we grow, eating what we grow, patronizing our local businessmen, patronizing our local farmers. That is how we can assist in nation building in a post-tropical storm Erica situation, brothers and sisters.
Also addressing the ceremony was Mayor of Portsmouth, His Worship Titus Francis, who wants farmers to know that although the agriculture sector has been impacted by Tropical Storm Erica, there is still hope.
Today, as we recognize Market Day with a Difference, we recognize that Erica has impacted production to a very large extent, and we can see it by what is in the market today. But as a people, Dominicans have proven that under the most trying circumstances, we are a people that is resilient. We will rebuild, we will bounce back, and Dominica will continue to be the envy of the Caribbean.
District Development Officer Glenroy Tuce says that Market Day with a Difference is an avenue for these farmers to be recognized for their hard work.
Of course, the event provides the opportunity for vendors and farmers to showcase the rich agricultural produce and of course to provide that for sale for our citizenry. Certainly there's a saying that health is wealth, and certainly the farmers and vendors have been providing that much help for us to be wealthy, and we are very grateful for the farmers and vendors who toil the soil and who come to the Portsmouth market on a continuous basis to provide us, the citizenry, with those rich agricultural produce. We really want to recognize your efforts.
As part of the ceremony, several farmers and vendors were awarded for their hard work over the years. And the Praise Festival 2015 is on. The festival, hosted by the People's Pentecostal Church, began on Sunday, October 25th. Several members of cabinet were present at the opening ceremony. The Honorable Minister for Education and Human Resource Development, Peter Seja, addressed the gathering.
Recognizing that in this time and in this hour, if there is a time that Dominica needs God, it is now. And so on behalf of the Acting Prime Minister and the government of Dominica, let me say that we recognize that this is a time when Dominica needs God, and that the Church of God has an awesome responsibility in this time to restore Dominica to a state of normalcy and to ensure that we get better and bigger than what we were before August 27th.
The program of activities will run from Monday, October 26th and will end with a grand concert on Friday, October 30th. The featured speaker of the festival is Reverend St. Clair Mitchell, a native of Dominica based in the United States since 1991. And before we leave, here are two announcements. The Bureau of Gender Affairs has extended its submission deadline for its drawing competition and photo-video art competition to November 15th, 2015. The theme is Stop That Violence. The competition is open to all primary school students, and the photo-video art competition is open to all. Monetary prizes will range from $75 to $500 EC. For more information, you can find the poster for the competition under the announcements page on our GIS website, news.gov.dm. The Dominica State College, through institutional partnership CAR_18 project, is offering the following 12-week pre-technology courses commencing January 2016: bartending, housekeeping, landscaping, and maintenance. Interested persons between the ages of 15 to 29, unemployed and not at school with 3 CXCs or less, are asked to register at the Dominica State College, the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association members, Village Council offices, or contact Don Francis at 315-5128 for more information. This is a pre-technology initiative project funded by colleges and institutes, Canada and UK aid. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with Creole highlights.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, le gouvernement Dominique tient pour mettre pour battre tout étudiant de l'école secondaire et puis State College Dominique en tablette. Dernier cas, cérémonie pour étudiants qui recevoir c'était State College Dominique vendredi qui passé. Selon le ministère de l'Éducation, Honorable Peter Saint-Jean, il a fait le gouvernement bien plaisir pour tient pour mettre il a fait.
Le Premier ministre a promis pour tout étudiant en Dominique en tablette en mois de décembre 2014. Nous déclarons que tous les enfants qui sont à l'école secondaire et State College qui sont trouvés pour des semaines qui passent, nous avons bas enfants l'école secondaire tablette. Aujourd'hui, dans la cérémonie, qui nous déclarons que tous les enfants en State College, étudiants en State College, qui reçoivent tablette. Nous comptons parce que ça, c'est puisque ça, c'est dernière cérémonie qui nous unit pour faire promesse ça là qui nous fait, promesse là nous fait pour nous venir en réalité. Aujourd'hui, c'est un grand jour pour nous en Dominique, en Labour Party là, puisque comme nous avons dit, là nous fait en promesse, nous avons délivré en les promesses ça là, et il y a une opportunité là pour véritablement voir que Dominica State College, c'est vraiment ça nous a créé première, plus grand, fort, première institution d'éducation en Dominique.
La nouvelle ministre agriculture a tapé assistance hot dot agence. Parole salaire sorti votre permanent secrétaire ministre agriculture Harold Gist. En une semaine passée, FAO fait donation $300,000 pour le ministre agriculture.
Nous avons aussi d'autres gens qui ont aidé nous avons ICA, nous avons différentes organisations. Mais aussi, je voulais dire qu'on sait que nous débat ces habitants espoir. Tout de suite, nous avons tapé sel pour mettre en manger avec Morocco, Kingdom of Morocco, qui a Dominique 9,000 sacs sel. En bas, nous avons tapé 20,000 sacs sel avec nous d'autres programmes pour nous ça parce qu'il fait ça comme ça la valet de l'eau qui passait en Tropical Storm Erika l'eau a lavé tout nourrissement qui était dans la terre, toute alimentation, tout ça allait avec pour ces plans faire bien nous pour renouveler nourrissement tel là ça comme ça c'est fumier ça là c'est celle-là ça nous allons mettre nous allons distribuer pour farmers ça va aller pousser bagaille devant nous.
La nouvelle gouvernement Dominique ba Housing Loans Board qui fait plus aisé pour officier public pour tirer maison ailleurs. C'est le chairman board la Félix Thomas $33 millions yo tapé qui facilite yo assister officier et puis l'enterrer qui bien bas ça c'est moun yo que ballon. Thomas fait parole qu'ils a fait au la l'enterrer descend 11% pour 5,5% sans même que positionner officier public ni maison ailleurs. Et de 10 pour $11 millions hors allocation salam que aller pour bâtir maison neuve, plus que $16 millions déjà dépensés pour bâtir maison. Depuis les partis Dominique venus en gouvernement, ça fait que c'est une priorité. Et puis, finalement, il y a une organisation Guadeloupe correcte, venez nous assister Dominique Silon Coulton Erika, organisation sans la chaîne activité en Guadeloupe, où là, il y a levé l'argent qui a fait avec la ministre de l'Éducation. Il y a une cérémonie pour place vendredi qui passé, où l'organisation a fait présentation 70 000 € par ministre de l'Éducation. Ministère de l'Éducation, honorable Peter Saint-Jean, vous avez l'argent là à ce compte ministre là. Monsieur Julien Méouillon, c'est président correct.
Bien bonjour toute population Dominique, toute peuple Dominique. Moi, je suis content pile, moi trouver moi ici aujourd'hui parce que pendant un mois nous supporté Dominique après Storm Erika, Tropical Storm Erika, et pour nous c'était un geste naturel parce que l'ennemi fait à voisin. Faut porter ses coups. Demain, l'ennemi fait la caillou. Voisin la porter ses coups pour. Donc c'est comme ça nous voyons ça et nous porter en grande solidarité. Alors grande solidarité là ça, c'est d'abord pour nous demander de l'eau, nous demander manger qui sec pour faire voyer ici. D'après ça nous connaître, nous voyons à peu près 250 tonnes. Supplies qui sorti Guadeloupe qui arrivé Dominica. Et après ça, nous faisons un grand concert, concert of solidarity with Gordon Anderson, with some people from Dominica, some artists from Dominica, but many artists from Guadeloupe, sauf Tania Saint-Val, on parle de grands artistes qui viennent by force là. Et il y a plus de 1000 personnes dans le concert là. Ça. Et aujourd'hui, nous pouvons remettre un chèque à Ministry of Education, nous remettons un chèque à 20 000 € qui c'est une première contribution pour aider à l'école et aider à la reconstruction à l'école. Mais nous venons aussi avec un deuxième chèque, un chèque à 50 000 € qui collectivité à Saint-Barth nous et dit nous bon il va et c'est pour Koreka porter le gouvernement là et pour le gouvernement là peut travailler pour l'école pour ces petits monde là peut retrouver l'école normalement.
Messieurs et mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non, moi, c'est McPherson and Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up next, your tip of the day. Today we will share a few nutrition tips for better oral health. Avoid foods with high concentrations of sugar. Beware of hidden sugars. Don't consider sweets only as foods with sweet taste. Check for the concentration of sugar on product labels. Don't forget that many refreshments and soft drinks have a high concentration of sugar. Although diet soft drinks do not contain sugar, they do contain acids that can damage tooth enamel. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Nisha Charles. Thanks for watching and do join us again next time on National Focus.